John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever should believe in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. People say this scripture over and over again because it's one of the main verses that describes God's love for us in the world. Yet, most of the time, we can't figure it out. It doesn't make any sense to us. And a lot of times Jesus spoke in parables because people hear but they don't understand. And I got something that the Lord kind of gave me a vision of or an understanding of, and I'd like to share it with you. It's got a little bit of background story to it, so just stick with me, but it's good. It's real good. Me and my dad were trying to sell a house that we have, and we just put new carpet into the house, and we have a dog right now. Well, we've had a dog for a while. His name's Buddy, and he's getting older, and he has, he's getting towards the end of his life right now, and he's got an ear infection that sometimes bleeds and stuff like that, and he ruined the last carpet, so we just put new carpet in the house and we're trying to sell it. And we've come to the decision now that we have to put Buddy down. And we don't have the money to put Buddy down, but we need to in order to have the house sellable and not ruin the carpet again. And we talked about, well, what are some other options? Could we just drive up to a shelter and leave him on the front doorstep, or what about in the old days? What would they do then? And we talked about this, and I said, well, like we could go the old way of Old Yeller and get a gun and shoot him, but then we couldn't bury him because the ground's frozen out still. And then we talked about, my dad's like, shoot, I've thought about, because he grew up on a farm, even, clubbing him over the head. That's supposed to be a way to kill him. And he said, but I can't do that to my dog, every time I look at him, he knows something's up. And he kind of just looks at me and he says, man, are you coming to get me? Is this the last day that I got here? Why are you coming to get me? I'm a good guy. Don't hurt me. I didn't do anything wrong. And yet, because Buddy has this disease, we know that it's for the better good of what we need to do, and probably for his better half that we put him down. But it's hard, and it's just a dog. And the idea or the revelation that God gave me is, look how small a thing is, but how hard it is for you to put your dog down. In the Old Testament times, they would go and they would impart their sin to a lamb or what it was, and then they'd go and spill the blood out, and that was something that happened to show this is how serious sin is, and this is the sacrifice that it takes. There has to be blood spilled for the atoning of sin. And just like we were having all this trouble going through, saying, man, I can't kill my dog. And I love my dog. He's a good guy. He didn't do anything wrong. And here my dog sitting there saying, no, don't get me. I'm a good guy. But when you look at the sacrifice that God made, God, because he loved you so much, said, I'm going to put my only son, whom I love, way more than you ever loved that dog, Jonathan, and I'm going to put him on the cross. And he's going to bear all of your sin. Buddy has a disease, so we have to put him down. You know what? God's looking down at the world 2,000 years ago, and he sees sin. He sees disease, famine, people just in open rebellion against him. But he loves them so much that he wants to buy them back. He wants to pay the ultimate sacrifice, that he'll put his perfect, blameless, innocent son, who is sinless, and he's going to take our place. He's going to take on our infirmities, our disease, and he's going to bear it all. And then God is going to crush Jesus Christ in place of us. Just like I think it's hard that I would take a bat and hit my dog over the head. I'm afraid. That's just tough for me. I don't think I could ever do something like that. But God did a lot more than that to Jesus Christ. He pulled out his full wrath on his only begotten Son and crushed him. He was crushed for our iniquity. People have this beautiful glimpse of what the gospel is. Oh, it's Jesus dying on a cross. Man, that cross is like the electric chair of today. And people wear it around their necks all the time, and oh, it's, it's jewelry. Man, that's it's got a lot more meaning than just, what people think. Man, the price that Christ paid for us. And to show how severe it was, Jesus is in the garden the night before he gets betrayed, or the night that he gets betrayed by Judas, and he's there and he's crying out and he's praying to his Father 3 times, and he's sweating blood because he knows what he has to go through, and he knows the wrath that God is going to pour out and crush him with. And he's crying out just like Buddy, saying, "Man, why are you coming to get me? I'm a good guy, don't get me. I didn't do anything wrong." Jesus is crying out to the Father, saying, "God, if there's any way, let this cup pass from me, please. I'm begging you. But nevertheless, your will, not my will." He always took the higher road. He washed his disciples' feet and he says, "Yeah, you guys call me Lord, and that's right, because I am. But if I, as your Lord, wash your feet, I'm setting an example. You guys need to be a servant out there for the world to show the love that I have for you. You're going to show it to them. That's how they're going to know that you're sent by me." And anyways, God just gave me a revelation of what a price it is. I have a 4-month-old son. He's beautiful. He's right here. He's sleeping. There's my wife. And there you go. Now you can see him. Wake up, Noah. He's kind of sleepy. Could I ever pour out a cup of wrath on my son? Could I crush my son to let other people live? I don't know. It's tough. What if Noah had some crazy disease that I knew was going to be worse than AIDS and was going to kill billions of people? Would I, as a loving father, be able to kill my only son? Crush my son to set everyone else free? I don't know. That's tough. That's a real tough decision. Abraham took his only son, who God promised to him, and was going to kill him. And God stopped him and said, "You know what? I appreciate the obedience. This is a beautiful picture of what's going to happen about 1,000 or so years later." Christ went and laid down on that altar, and God the Father poured out a cup of wrath on him, slaughtered his only son to set us free from the bondage, from the weight of sin, from the death and disease that plagues us all. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. Whosoever should believe in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Guys, time's getting short. We need to share the gospel with everybody. We need to complete the Great Commission. But we can't do it with the few people that are here. We need help. Everyone needs to get out and do their part. I love you guys. I hope this helped.